another Wiffle Ball podcast. With me today, we have Mason Brook, Ethan Brook, his younger brother, Josiah Nichols, and Reed Brown, and of course your host, Eli Cherry. We will be talking about our first subject, hot and cold, okay? Who's doing well right now and who's cold right now? Mason wants to start. Here we go.
Yeah, well, I was actually part of the first series yesterday. I am currently on the wave. And yesterday, Jacob Erickson was very hot. He just, I think in the past, maybe last season, he has great movement on his pitches, but sometimes they just don't hit. And he was walking a lot of people, but man, he turned it around yesterday. He was heating up, and it was amazing to see, really. And he also had a homer in one of the games that led to a win for the Avalanche, and he's just really hot right now. He's got to acknowledge it.
So on the topic of hot and cold, and I know Mason shouted out Jacob for someone who's doing really hot today in a three game series between the Storm. Who else played? The Storm and the Cobras. Yeah, Nathaniel Switzer had some crazy hits today.
That's what I'm saying.
Along with Cherry,
Couldn't win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Switzer and Cherry. Both. I think Cherry is underratedly. He's getting hotter, and Switzer. But yeah.
Ethan Brooks.
I think Cherry had some great runs. He's not overrated. He's not underrated. I think he's just great.
Yeah. Thank you, Ethan.
Love that.
Reed, what about cold?
Cold.
Anyone cold?
Who's been cold lately? Well, I wasn't at the game, but I did hear news about Logan Legel having a little bit of control issues on the mound. Couldn't do a lot for the Waves on the other day, but not to go after a teammate or anything. I really think he could bounce back after it, but as of right now, I think he's in that cold area.
But beyond that, not really anyone freezing right now. Nobody's too chilly. All right, best field is our next subject. We got three fields for the podcast listeners. We have Thunderdome, okay? That is where the Storm plays. We have, what's Jacob's called?
I just say Lorraine Fields.
Lorraine Field.
Field.
I like that.
Yeah,
Jacob's Field. It's a shorter fence. Then we have Eli Kaufman's Field, which is named
Homer's Hideaway.
Homer's Hideaway.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Which is
that's
the favorite
not-
of
which
a
is
lot of people.
which is everyone loves that field. But
Fan favorite.
Jost, do you have something to say?
Yeah.
Who's is the best field?
Start out. I just think I'm along with what everyone else thinks. I think Kaufman's Field is the most consistent. At first, it was way too short. People were hitting too many home runs. Was not good. But then he moved it back a little bit. Then he moved it slightly closer, I think, in the end. And it's I think it's a perfect distance for both home runs and close games. But close behind it is Cherry's Field. Yeah, it's a longer home run, but I think it's better for more doubles and singles. And just I think if you hit it deep into the corner at Jacob's Field, you're not getting a double. But at Cherry's, yeah, you'll definitely get a double.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I think one of the things you have to consider when you talk about the best, I think you got to consider the longevity and what it means. And I think Jacobs Field has that. I think when I think of our league and some of the great moments, his field is kind of what I think of. And yeah, I think all the fields are great, and I respect Cherry's as well and Kaufman's, but I'd say Jacobs is the best right now.
Yeah. I'm gonna differ from the first two, and I'm gonna have to go with Cherry's Field right now, the Thunderdome. I feel like it really shows and eliminates the cheap hits. I think on a place like Kaufman's Field, where the fence is rounded and it's shorter, I think that you could hit a little dink and it could go over the fence somehow, which at Cherry's house is not going to happen. I think especially when you hit little dinks on the ground, people can't get on base as often. It's less rewarding, which I think is a good thing from a pitching standpoint and from a more balancing the game standpoint.
All right, yeah. All good fields. So there's been talked about top five. Yes. This is a controversy issue. A lot of egos in this issue. Let's just say, you know what? We're just going to go around. We're going to say everyone's top five in the league. No talk around it. and then we'll get into discussion. Ethan, do you have a top 5?
I do.
You do. Let's hear it.
Let's hear it, Ethan.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna start from 5. From 5, I think
Suspense. It's killing me. It's killing me.
Yeah, you can do top 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna do top 3. So
Doesn't have to be in order.
my number 3 is probably Jacob. Jacob.
I love it. The 3.
At 3.
I like that.
At 2, we're gonna go Mason Brook.
That brotherly love. That brotherly love.
number 1, the Harley.
And at number 1, it's gotta be Eli Cherry.
All right, that's his top 3. Joseph, what's your top 5?
All right, I'm gonna have to go Stephen A. Smith right here. I'm not letting anyone tell me what's right or wrong in my list.
You're wrong.
Number 1, Jacob. I know, Cherry. I know you're a very good hitter.
Wow.
I know you're a very good hitter. Hey, listen.
I
know you're a very good hitter, but your pitching lately has not been it. I'm sorry, it has not been it. Jacob is the best of both worlds. He's been amazing pitching, and his hitting is only going up. I guarantee you.
That's one series.
Number 2, Cherry, you're there. You're slightly behind Jacob just for the pitching. Jacob is a pitching Jacob when he's on is unhittable.
Keep it going.
Yeah, because it's not what you want to hear. All right.
Yep.
I'm gonna go number 3. It's really a toss. I'll give it to Mason. I think Mason's a little better than me right now, hitting. Not so much pitching, but yeah, he's a better hitter than me by a good amount. And then I think number 4, just because of his hitting is so good, I think Switzer. He's got to be number 4. His hitting just outweighs his pitching. And at number 5, I'm gonna go. Actually, who should I go number? I'll go myself at number 5.
Oh my gosh. Who should I do? All right, Mason, let's do it.
This is the true top 5.
Okay.
Oh, let's hear it, Mason.
Elijah Cherry,
I don't like it.
Jacob Erickson at number 2. He's been playing great, but he's not good enough to be number 1 right now. But he's amazing. And then Mason Brook at 3, and then Switzer, and then Jose. I think
I'm okay with that.
Switzer could be in the top 3, but I think he's got to stop throwing the ball 2 miles an hour.
You know what? I like that.
Reed?
All right. So for my top 5, I'm gonna stick with Joseph's thoughts, and I'm putting Jacob at number 1.
I agree.
You know what? Cherry might not like it. You might think it's a little bit of bull. I don't think so. I think that Jacob's been phenomenal with his movement and his location pitching-wise. And then at number 2, I do have Eli Cherry. Been a phenomenal hitter. Some would say he's carrying the storm. I wouldn't say that, though. I think it's a very balanced team. But he's definitely a good team leader, good hitter, solid pitcher. Love to see it. For number 3, I want to put a good mention to Switz here. I think Switz has been just the best hitter in the league right now. I think he has been just very consistent. When he's on the mound, he's pretty good. I think his hitting has just been flawless. At number 4, I have Mason. Mason has been very consistent. You know what you're going to get from him kind of guy. He's been a very I can hit the zone at will kind of guy. He can hit the ball as well. Love to see that. And at number 5, right now, I'm going to give it to Josiah. He's got some fast movement. He's got some location. He's got some hitting. He can do it all. That's my top 5 right there.
Okay, I'm just going to get this over with quick. It goes, this is undisputed.
Okay.
Cherry, Mason, Jacob, Switzer, Josiah. Okay? We can talk now. Okay, the reason it's Mason at number 2. No, wait, did I say Jacob at 4?
I think you said Jacob.
No, you said Jacob 3.
Jacob 3.
Jacob 3.
Okay.
Worst list
Mason
I've ever heard.
Brook single-handedly took them to the World Series championship and won it for them. Switzer had a home run, but when they were playing the Gators, Mason won the game. That's literally all that happened. I'm sorry. Mason destroyed. He hit the ball and he pitched you guys out of the game. That's all that happened. And then Cherry's number 1. You guys are just high or something.
All right, no. Let me debate that real quick.
And Jacob is incredible.
There's no way that list is there. That's not the popular opinion. Jacob has to be at 1 or 2. if you're the best pitcher in the league, you have to be at 1 or 2. That's undisputed.
He's not the
Jacobs-
best pitcher in the league.
Yes, who's better than him?
No. For 3 games.
Who is better than
when
him?
he's
for 3 games.
when he's hot, he's very hard to hit off of. He's very streaky though. He's very streaky. He's
Yeah.
walked
I
in
just-
10 runs.
I think
I
he's
just don't
straight
like
to
that.
him.
No, I'm not even saying. I think when he's hot, he's undisputed the best pitcher.
I think one more
But
series. And
who
he
is a
goes-
better pitcher
one more,
than him?
One more series where he goes off, I'll give him number 1.
Yeah.
Who's a better pitcher? I need an answer.
I think there's 2 better pitchers, but I'm just gonna say one.
Nope, you have to
I
say both of
think-
them. Say both of them. Come on.
I think it's
I think it's Eli Cherry.
No.
no. I think it's
No.
Mason Brook, just because of the consistency.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, but even
we're-
so,
if-
even if he is the best pitcher, I'm not like against that, but he's streaky on both ends, hitting and pitching. So he could be dominant, or he could walk in 6 runs.
I'm gonna say one more. You got something to say?
No, I'm good.
I got one more thing to say, and then we're gonna move on to the next segment. If you're talking about playoffs and people carrying and stuff, what about the games before that in the season? Mason was consistently throwing meatballs. He threw like 3 to 5 runs a game almost every single time, and he maybe had one game where he didn't throw any runs. I don't know if you have anything to say about that, but
No, he didn't do great in the regular season, but he didn't do atrocious, and he still got hits. And then
I'm talking
he
about
won
pitching.
when it mattered.
Talking about pitching.
So
that's
Oh,
why
pitching?
I just do not think there's a way.
he
that
was just
Mason-
consistently.
I don't think there's a
fine.
way that
He was
Mason.
consistently fine. I'm not saying he was great, but
I'm
he
just-
never walked in 20 runs
That's
in
not,
like.
he may not have
3
walked
games.
him in, but people hit off of him.
All right.
All right, we'll just
Okay.
leave that
All right.
stalemate. I guess.
Let's
I
move
don't
on.
know.
Let's move on.
Yeah. Okay.
Next
what's
segment.
our next
It's
segment?
the skills weekend.
Okay. Oh, there's been some
Yeah.
talk about maybe an all-star game. Love it. Maybe a home run derby skills game.
Yeah.
Whose idea was the skills game?
It was Reed.
That was me and
kind of me and
me and
All right,
Mason.
we'll let Reed
talking on
describe
the
what the
sideline.
skills would look like.
Yeah. So, for entertainment purposes or not, for skills game, we could look at like a pitching accuracy kind of game. We bring in a smaller zone. We give a guy 10 pitches, see how many times he can hit the zone. We could go into like a movement round where you have to throw off speed and see how well you can locate. Nothing is official. Nothing has been planned. This is all top of mind. Something else could be a fielding round where we have a hitter that hits in the direction of a fielder and see how many they can catch out of 10 or whatever. Nothing's been set in stone. Just a faint idea that we got going on.
I like it. That can honestly help with the top 5 decisions, but
Good.
I'm just saying.
Talk about the home run derby.
Home run derby.
Home run derby.
The
Where-
cherry show? Is that what it was?
Oh,
hello.
We're gonna take some inspiration off of MLW, the biggest wiffle ball league in the world. And
the only wiffle ball league.
that is not true. There are multiple very good wiffle ball leagues, but their home run derby looks a little bit like this. They have some stars, and in the infield, they have some like little obstacles that if you hit, it's different certain things. So they have a star probably in the left field. If you hit that, that's 5 times, so you get 5. You 1 home run. If you hit that, would count for 5 home runs. And then there's things in the infield like if you hit it, you have to spin around 10 times, try to hit a home run, and then it's just basic stuff like that. I would definitely love to see a home run derby
That would be fun.
based off of home runs.
All right. We are at 13 minutes. Okay, and then an all-star game would basically just be the best 8 or 6
I think we
games.
should be generous and give it to 8 because I'm trying to be part of that.
Yeah.
We can be in
Was that
further
it?
talks with the commissioner about that. About the All-Star game.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
put that.
that's about all we have for you
Yep,
guys.
that
We'll be
is.
coming out with a podcast shortly. Good talking, good chats.
Feel
Have-
free to let us know if you want any new
Specific
segments.
topics. Yeah, we'll do hot and cold again. Anyway, have a wiffle day.
Oh,